All right, what's happening, everybody? Welcome to the ASAP Afternoon Blitz, November 30th, 2022. Man, November's already over, man. It's been flying by. I'm Chris Gonzo Gonzalez, joined by Jay McLevin. How's it going, Jay?
Man, no, it's going well. And I agree with you, man. It's going, man. Look, we're already in December, for crying out loud. You literally got 31 days, and we're talking 2023. I remember when it was 2000 going in from 99. Now we're looking at 2023, and I'm just like, Gonzo, it is, man. It's just amazing how fast time has really flown, brother.
Yeah, it's this year. To me, this year's flown by. I think as you get older, the years go by faster as well.
Man, yeah. Well, yeah, because I think, usually as you get older, you have so many things that, typically speaking going on that, you just don't, I think you lose that consciousness of what time is. So, yeah, that makes sense. And when 10, I do tend to sleep a little more. So it is what it is, but.
Hey, you have to get that rest.
Man, I was thinking, like we were talking earlier, man. Me and Frank have been talking a little bit today about it. Of course, I talked to you a little bit about it. Being Tindy, I've seen his name thrown out around there with the Astros and processing and things of that nature. And I got to be honest with you, man. Brady, we just signed him. I think if we get Being Tindy, man, honestly, I think it's unless just a lot of injuries or something crazy happens. He's just looking pretty damn formidable, man. I think that's just one of the last true pieces that we need. But do you see him leaving the Yankees, or do you think he stays?
I don't know. I think he's going to end up leaving. I don't know. I just have a hunch that he's going to leave. I think the Yankees are going to look a little different next year than what they did this year. And a lot of it, I think, depends on what Judge does. I think that chip needs to kind of fall. Then the Yankees kind of know what they need and what they don't need.
Oh, absolutely.
Because and how much money they're going to have that they still want to spend. Because Judge isn't going to be cheap.
And that's the thing. Exactly. He's not going to be cheap. He's going to call it command north of or somewhere in the neighborhood of $400 million, I think. I think $400 million. And of course, now that depends on length of time, right? But if 7 years, 320, 345, 400, somewhere in that neighborhood. I mean, I can see that happening. He turned down 290, so you got to face what, 10 million less than 3, so 110 million giving up the season that he just had and 62 home runs in the face of quote unquote the Yankees. I see him getting, if he don't get 400, I think he gets pretty damn close to 400 million. But let me ask you this: if the Astros can pull off the move and bring in a guy like Benintendi, you'd be looking at a lineup that would be this: Altuve, Pena, Alvarez, Bregman, Tucker, Abreu, McCormick, and then Benintendi. Oh, yeah. I mean, like, that's a functified, and again, now that the shift is going away, here's a fun fact for you. Now that the shift is going away, Tucker was batting .315 with the shift in place. When the shift has been removed, his batting average is close to 400 without the shift. So could you imagine how much better Tucker's going to be once that shift goes away? But then again, it also will hurt the Astros because Astros have played defensively pretty high on this shift. So I think a lot of people's batting averages are going to go up significantly once that shift goes away. But still, man, that's going to be a fucking mortified – if you're a pitcher, that's going to be a mortified lineup to go up against.
Oh, yeah. You're right. It will be. I was kind of looking at some of the free agent stuff here. So I would say probably usually when the winter meetings start in San Diego, that's usually when free agency really picks up. That's December 5th through 8th.
Yeah. Yeah, because I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe, when is the deadline for free agency? Or is there? I think there is a deadline for that, isn't there? Or maybe it's trades.
I don't think
Maybe it's trade deadline. I'm thinking of.
there's a trade deadline, but I don't think there's free agency.
Thinking of something. I don't know what I'm thinking of. There is a deadline that's supposed to be coming up soon. Either way, the winter, yeah, like you said, the winter meetings are coming up pretty soon.
Oh,
and I wonder what's going to be discussed at those meetings.
There is a deadline in January for teams that have arbitration eligible players.
That's probably what I'm thinking of. I'm thinking of arbitration. Okay, I knew there was a deadline approaching, so
that's January 13th. And then if you're a player that's in arbitration, the arbitration hearings begin January 30th.
Oh wow! Well, luckily for the Astros, we don't have any. We don't have any arbitrations to deal with, so we'll be fine there. I think it's going to be a matter of figuring out what the hell we're going to do with the free agents that we still have out there. I mean, we still got Brantley out there. We still got a couple other guys, not too many guys, but a couple other guys. I know, man. I think they're going to wind up letting Mancini walk and just going, which I'm okay with that. Now that you brought in Abreu, you honestly really don't need Mancini. Mancini gives you an outfield. That is one thing he can do for you. He gives you outfield as well as DH, which we still need to address the center field position. And I think I wouldn't be mad if they brought Mancini back and put him in the outfield, because I don't know if they're going to be able to get Benintendi, but if they get Benintendi, then I'm like, fuck it, let him go. Just bring back Brantley. I do want to bring back Brantley because he's a great locker room presence and he's a great outfield presence. And he's a great hitter. So if they can bring in a Benintendi, keep a Michael Brantley, man, we're good. Astros can chill, relax, and however free agency wants to pan out. And by God, let Verlander go. Take that $45 million, allocate it to Brantley or allocate it to Benintendi or both, whatever. And then let's pick up mission.
Yep. The last college football playoff rankings came out last night.
Yeah, I did not catch that. Can you tell me, do you have that in front of you?
Georgia was 1, Michigan 2, TCU 3, USC 4, Ohio State 5, and Alabama at 6.
At 6.
They're trying to move Alabama closer and closer and closer.
Bro, I'm sorry. Alabama just does not deserve the 6th spot. They just don't deserve the number 6 spot. Who would I put at number 6? That's a good question. Maybe who would I put at number 6? I'd have to go. Who's at number 7?
Let me see if it didn't. Let me see if it says it on this page I'm on. I'm not sure who's at number 7. Oh, Penn State.
Penn State is at 7?
Or no, Tennessee's at 7. Tennessee's
at
7.
Okay.
Penn State is at 8. Clemson at 9. Kansas State at 10.
What's Tennessee's record? They got what? Are they a 2-loss record, right? 2 losses, I think. And Alabama's got how many? 3?
2, I think. Right? Tennessee and
Tennessee beat Bama, right?
Yep. That's what's funny to me. That's funny to me. Tennessee beat Alabama, but Alabama's ahead of Tennessee.
Yeah. Well, I think it goes back to your point where they're trying to push Bama to get into the playoffs. I think that's the reason why. Because why else would you do it?
See, USC plays Utah, and it's actually USC's only loss this season is to Utah by 1 point, and they play this weekend in the conference championship game. Then you have TCU playing Kansas State, which TCU beat Kansas State earlier in the season. So man, it's going. If USC loses, do you think Ohio State moves into number 4?
Absolutely. Yeah, I think they do. I think they slide right back in. But you know what? I'm fine. Let them slide into number 4. Their defense is soft as crap. It just means it's going to be. That just means they'll be once and done in the playoffs. USC. If USC loses, they didn't deserve to be there in the first place. So either way, number 4 spot. Look, I'm telling you right now, man. Georgia, Michigan, TCU. Those are the 3 tough teams, man. I'm telling you, I know TCU for a fact is tough. Those are the 3 tough teams, man. Everything else beyond that, hey, it is what it is. Whoever wants to grab that 4th spot, grab the 4th spot. But those are the 3 teams that I look at as being competitive in this series. So Ohio, USC, Bama, 10. I don't even care if Bama wants to. They want to put Bama back in. Let's put Bama, because when we slap their asses back out of the playoffs again, it's just going to make it even that much sweeter, to be honest with you.
Yeah, they'll be whoever's number 4 is going to play Georgia first game. So.
I mean, could you imagine? They put Alabama back in because, quote unquote, they need the money, and then Alabama just gets spanked out of the playoffs again.
Yeah, well, whoever's at number 4.
And if they put Bama back into the 4th spot, if USC lost and they leapfrog Bama into the 4th spot, only to get kicked out again, could you imagine how bad that would make the college football panel or whoever it is that decides? Could you imagine how bad that would make them look? Like, it'd make them look like total jokes.
Well, I honestly, I think whoever's at 4 is going to get probably blown out anyway. I don't think USC at 4 is going to be able to do much with Georgia.
Yeah. I want to see. I don't know. I want to see how. I really kind of hope tennis, like TCU. See, so TCU's in 3. So TCU would play what? Would they play Michigan?
Yep.
Which I'm fine with that. I'm fine with that for the fact that I want to see how Tennessee's defense can guard against that smash mouth run in Jim Harbaugh. So I'm perfectly okay with that. Matter of fact, I think it sets them up for the Georgia game.
You think TCU beats Michigan?
I think they got a good shot. I'm not going to say that hey, that's the thing about TCU, right? I mean, they played some ranked teams, but again, I don't know how their run defense would stack up against Edwards, and that offensive line and running the ball. So I don't want to fully commit to that, but I think that TCU, I just want to see TCU go against Michigan for the simple fact of what you're saying. People are going to say, oh, Michigan's going to go in there and obliterate TCU, this, that, and the other. So it makes a great storyline that if TCU upsets Michigan.
Yeah, I'm not saying Michigan's just going to obliterate them, but I think. No,
Michigan, but you know what I'm saying? I feel like you got to go up against the Michigan to basically quiet the naysayers.
Yeah,
you need a Michigan to go up against. Otherwise, it just it's almost like they need that. Like Georgia needs to win the SEC to get validity to a state to the conference title if they get that. If they get that, right, or I mean the national title, right?
And as you can tell, I'm not a Michigan fan anyway. But
I know. Trust me. But I mean, that's the knock, right? Alabama took the championship, and then Georgia took the national title. So,
but I'm not going to lie. I always root for the Big Ten. I think Michigan would win the game. I'm not saying it's going to be a blowout, but I'll be honest with you. I'm worried about Michigan this weekend against Purdue. Purdue's not even close to being as good as Michigan, but this is a letdown. This could be a letdown game after that big win against Ohio State last week, and then now you could be looking ahead to the college football playoffs, and this could be a game where Michigan might come in and overlook Purdue, and they better not, because you overlook a team, that's where the upset happens.
Yeah, that's a lot of it, because sometimes when you overlook them, you almost play down to them. And when you play down to them, that's where it gets dangerous.
So I'm not going to lie. I'm kind of worried about that game for Michigan, just because to me it's kind of like a trap game, because they just won the game that they've been focusing on all year against Ohio State.
Right, and that's why if I'm Jim Harbaugh, I got my guys in the locker room, and I'm saying, y'all think y'all accomplished? Y'all ain't accomplished shit. You ain't accomplished shit until you got that trophy, that national title trophy, that crystal ball in your hands. Then you've accomplished something. Until then, you're just nothing more than another contender trying to get there. So, and again, that's what I'm saying. Don't rest on what you've accomplished, because you haven't accomplished anything. All you've done was got yourself in a position to accomplish something.
And
really reminding them that.
And I would say they're not going to play Corum. I wouldn't even try to play Corum this week. I'd rest him all the way till the college football playoffs, and then see if he's good to go. And they said JTCU biggest game.
Yeah, I
was
saw
Texas.
that. I saw that. I don't know, man. If you think that Texas was their biggest game, and I'm not knocking Texas because hey, that's my school of choice is University of Texas. But again, the unbiased side of me thinks that was a good game for them. I felt Baylor was a good game for them because one thing people don't understand is interstate rivalries in Texas are a big, big deal, and people always, dig deepest when you go up against that interstate rivalry. So, I mean, say what you will, but Ohio's biggest game was Penn State up until the fact they played Michigan, and vice versa. So, I mean, come on, what are we talking about, John Anthony Price? What are we talking about, man?
Switch gears just a little bit. Von Miller says he talks like he's going to play this week, and I guess that OBJ is going to be visiting with the Buffalo Bills on Friday.
Yeah, he has a meeting with them, and then they go back and have a meeting with Dallas. I believe it's on Monday. So he's doing the tour right now. He's doing the tour of everybody to see where, I guess where he plans on wanting to play. He could very well stay in Buffalo. I mean, him and Von Miller, man, they got ties. They're extremely close friends. I wouldn't be surprised.
Super Bowl together.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. Dallas has their hands full trying to convince OBJ, but again, I think their record kind of speaks for itself. But again, when you got teammates, camaraderies, it's a horse apiece at that point.
He said TCU is a sleeper team. No, I've always, from the beginning, said I thought OBJ would end up in Buffalo, but Dallas has really made a big push, and I kind of thought, okay, that's where they're probably going to go. And then, but now that Von Miller's been, he's been clamoring for this all season. Anytime he gets a chance, he was like, come on, OBJ. He's been trying to get OBJ there all season. It's going to be interesting to see where he goes, but I still kind of favor Buffalo, but I think Dallas is right there. And Dallas, I think, has the advantage in this aspect is he's visiting Dallas after Buffalo, and sometimes that can be an advantage as long as he makes it to Dallas, as long as he don't stay in Buffalo after he goes to the Buffalo visit. But sometimes that last
absolutely. Hey, real quick, if I can, and Gonzo, I just want to, for clarity purposes, get your viewpoint on it as well. And I want to go back for what Anthony Price said about TCU not playing anybody. I just want to say there was a stretch of time where they played Oklahoma when they were ranked 18 and walked away with the 55-24 win. Then the next week, they go to Kansas that was ranked 19 and come away with a 38-31 win. Then the next week, they go to Oklahoma State, or actually Oklahoma State comes to TCU, and when they were ranked number 8, and they walk away with a double overtime 43-40 win. And then after that, they had Kansas State University that was ranked number 17 come into play, and they beat them 38-28. And then they had Texas Tech, Texas, and Baylor, all of which were wins. I'm just going to ask Anthony Price, the fuck are you talking about? Really, what the fuck are you talking about? With all due disrespect, what are you talking about? Please explain yourself. That's it. I just want to say that. What a time to be alive.
He said I did just say that TCU is my sleeper team, so I believe in them.
Anthony Price, I give two fucks about a sleeper team. I want to go back to your comment about who this TCU played. Stay on context, sir. Advance the first thing, and then we'll talk about the second thing.
Buffalo got all this. I don't know where Buffalo gets all these has enough room to get all these players under the cap. It has been crazy.
Hey, Gonzo, could you please just tell Anthony, Gonzo, has TCU played anybody? I'm curious to know that answer.
When you say that they haven't played anybody, you can only play who's on your schedule. They've played some good teams. I think they're going to have a tough time beating Michigan. I think it's going to be a close game. I don't think it'll be a blowout. But I think Michigan's run game against that defense is what scares me.
But what I'm saying is, you got to admit, when you're a ranked team and you have back to back ranked teams, and one of those is actually at the number 8 spot, and you beat them all. Come on, man. Come on. Show some love. Stop being biased. Look for what it really is. They beat good teams.
I'm not being biased.
Not you. Consul, stay on point. do not make me break up the straw. It's too early for that shit. I'm just saying, Anthony, man, just show some love, man. Keep it unbiased. You say sleeper, and I'm asking you, what are you talking about sleeper? I mean, look, I get Michigan, like I said earlier, smash mouth. But don't tell me that you got TCU as a sleeper. You can say USC would be a sleeper. I'll give you that. You say USC is a sleeper, okay, I'll give you that. Don't say TCU is a sleeper. They're not a sleeper team. They've been out there playing hard every damn week to the point where they've had 4 to 5 ranked teams on their schedule, and they beat them all. That's not a sleeper team. A sleeper team would be USC. A sleeper team might be LSU if they could get into there. That would be a sleeper team.
Yeah, I don't think LSU. I don't see LSU.
Oh, no, LSU not getting. I'm just saying, but that would be a sleeper team.
Even if they beat Georgia, I still don't see them getting in with 3 losses. If they do, it's a bunch of bullshit, in my opinion.
Anthony Price just woke me up. I thought I needed a cup of coffee, but Anthony Price just woke me up this morning.
But no, if you think Dallas still has a good chance to get OBJ? And if they don't,
yeah, I do. Yeah, I do, because I think, like you said, OBJ said it before. He wants to be on a championship caliber team. Not that Buffalo doesn't have that talent, but again, couple of things. Their defense is decimated. Even if Von Miller comes back, I mean, I'm scared for Von Miller. That lateral meniscus tear, and he thinks he's coming back next week. Bruh, all you're going to do is tear it even more. I think that's a bad move on Von Miller overall career path. I think it's a bad move for him to try to come back so soon. And it's even worse for Buffalo to even encourage that, or the physicians for Buffalo to even allow him, because that meniscus tear ain't no joke. And I think he's really pushing that. But needless to say, if he does come back, it is what it is. I think that Dallas, though, is sitting in a better situation. When I say they're sitting in a better situation, I mean physically and record-wise, physically. I mean, all their players are, for the most part, healthy. They don't really, like I said, he comes in. He don't have to be the credible superstar. They got plenty of superstars on offense. He just has to go out there and be a decoy. So I think he does sign with Dallas. I think he signs with Dallas, and I think he realizes the chances that Dallas has with him on the field, and he don't have to be the number 1 guy. He just has to be a decoy.
Yeah, no. Anywhere he goes, he don't want. This point in his career, he don't need to be the number 1 guy. He needs to be the second, third option, probably third option, really. But if he goes to Buffalo, he'll be either way. If he goes to Buffalo or Dallas, he's not going to be the number 1 option. You know what I mean? He's going to be like
and again, and if look, and I'll be honest with you, if I'm OBJ, I'm going to look at a myriad of things. I'm looking at, okay, who's going to give me the longest contract? Will it be Buffalo or will it be Dallas? Number 2, who's going to give me the most money? Will it be Buffalo? Will it be Dallas? And then thirdly, I'm going to look at where will I make the most amount of money? What I mean by that is, last time I checked, cost of living plus the fact that you got to pay a New York state tax is a hellified thing when it comes to your finances. If you go to Texas, cost of living is cheaper, and you don't got to pay a state tax. So think about those somewhere that's got to finance or work its way into your decision making. If you're looking at the financial aspect of it, but I think it's going to come down to who's going to give him the most years. Will Dallas give him the 3 years he's looking for? Will Buffalo give him the 3 years? Who's going to give him the most time? That's really what he wants.
And not only that, Anthony brings up a good point too. I'd much rather live in Texas than in Buffalo, just because of the weather-wise as well.
Oh yeah, do you really want to play in freaking Buffalo where it's blizzards?
And this is something people don't think about. I think about it, and I know you think about it because our bodies react to the cold after injuries. if you're a guy like OBJ that's had 2 knee surgeries on that same knee,
yeah,
it's going to feel better in warm weather in Texas than what's going to feel better.
Oh, absolutely. I definitely, yeah, absolutely. I definitely agree with that 100%. And I think when you got Micah Parsons lobbying for you, you got DeMarcus Lawrence lobbying for you, Dak. When you feel like you're in a place where you're wanted, where people want you, that means something as well. I can't even read half of what he's written.
I want to know if you can make this out. I know what he's trying to say.
He says ONJ, but it's supposed to be OBJ. He says sauce, but it's supposed to be Seth. So if I'm reading Damien's language correctly, it's OBJ. OBJ says he wants to go to a championship team. How is Cowboys a championship team when they have a game managing? Yeah. Okay. Hold on a minute, please. Give me 1 sec. 1 sec. Yeah. Okay. Okay. We can continue for about 5 minutes of non-bullshit comments. God, what a time to be alive, man. I'm telling you, sometimes you got to realize there are people in this world that will literally put their pants on and then put the underwear over the pants. There's people out there that are like that.
Hey,
I'm not saying Damien's one of them, but there's people out there that will put the underwear over the pants.
Hey, everybody has their own style, Jay. He said I had to read that 3 times.
3 times. He said 3 times.
Hey, another topic in the NFL. Deshaun Watson making his return this week. I guess a bunch of the women that was accusing them or of the stuff. I'm gonna say accused because nothing never came out of what exactly. Did you block the other account? But I guess a lot of the women that was involved in them cases are going to the game this week to protest. But get this, they're going to the game to protest, but they're sitting in a suite. To me, that's not much of a protest.
And I'm sorry, one more time. What were they protesting again? I'm sorry, because I was seeing Damien and you caught the first part of that conversation out. What were you saying again about him or about them?
Some of the women that was involved in the Deshaun Watson stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Going to the game.
Yeah. They're going to be at the game.
They're going to be in a suite. Yeah, but they're going to be up in a suite.
Yeah.
How are you going to protest up in a
suite? A protest?
Yeah, a protest. You're outside the building, or if you're on the sideline or something. You're not up in a suite.
Hey,
to me,
part-time lover. Part-time
you know what that says to me, honestly, and it might make some people. Not that, but it's to me that's the lawyer. He put them up there in that suite. He's trying to use them as advertisement, trying to get more clients. You know what I mean? That's not a protest. You're putting these women up in a suite to watch a football game.
You know what they should do? If you're really a protester, if you're really infuriated by what Deshaun Watson has done, you should find your way on the field and tackle that fucker. I'm not saying I'm encouraging that women should run out on the field and do what they got to do to protest. But be a real protester. Don't be a fake pretender.
Well, this is what the lawyer said. The lawyer says that they want to show that they're not done. They not giving up on this. But you're up in a suite, like Anthony Price said.
Right.
If you're on the field, you can't see nobody in the suites. And if you're
who can see them in the suite? They're gonna sit there in a posh ass little.
And if you're in the stands, you don't see nobody in the suite because the suite's behind you. You're watching the game. So the only way anybody's even going to see them is if the cameras go up and show them up there in that suite. Right. And if I'm the NFL, I'm telling the TV networks, don't put that camera on that suite.
And again, if you're protesting, again, to your point, you're going to get the most amount of attention if you're down there in front of the stadium with signage and things like that. Hell, and if you're the lawyer, You're calling up all the news stations saying, hey, look, come down here. Hey, we out here protesting this Deshaun Watson crap. Can you, and hey, let's do it how we do. Come on.
That's why I say, to me, this is more of an advertisement ploy by the lawyer than anything.
Oh, absolutely. It's a ploy by the lawyer. Hey, and he's getting his money worth, but
exactly, Anthony. That's what I'm saying. I guarantee you that lawyer paid for the suite.
Hell, he probably has that suite all the time. That's probably his suite, I bet. I wouldn't be surprised if he had a personal suite there and he just brings his clients there.
Yeah, I heard on the radio, it's like, that's not a damn protest. That's some. I'm not going to go as far as what LeVar Arrington said on the radio, but I will say it's not a protest. He basically called them gold diggers.
Well, and again, that's the way they're coming off.
Yeah.
If you're in a suite claiming to protest, how does that not make you look like a gold digger? Because you're out there schmoozing and boozing.
That's what.
I'm not the smartest man, Gina, but I do know what love is.
I just thought that was crazy. If you're, I don't have a problem with them protesting. You want to protest? Protest. But to me, that's just not a protest. Nobody's going to see you up there protesting. A protest, okay. This is a protest. Kyrie Irving said those anti-Semitic things. What them people do? They sit in the front row at Brooklyn with T-shirts on. Remember that?
Yeah. No, I do remember that. I do.
That's a protest. That's a protest because everybody's going to see you.
I don't know. You can't ban somebody who hasn't been criminally indicted on it. All that's going on right now is maybe some conduct unbecoming the conduct policy and whatever. But that's a lot of hearsay to just ban somebody on a league. So, yeah, they're not going to ban him. Now, if he would have been criminally charged, okay, that's something else. But come on,
Damian Ramos. I wonder if that's. I think that is that.
Hey, listen.
That is it.
Hey, if he's gonna be, if that is Damian Hernandez, I'm gonna let him stay in because he shows some creativity. It's all good.
This is how many counts you have, Damian. Damian,
hey, listen, man.
You ain't keeping me out, Jay. I like that.
Hey, all I think about when I see Damian with this many accounts and things like that, I just go back to when Cheech was, I think it was Cheech Marin when he was I think he was born in East LA. Remember that movie where he goes across the border and he can't get back, and he does everything he can to get back across the border, and they keep finding him and slamming him back over.
Yeah.
I just keep thinking about that movie, and I hope I have it right. I know it's Cheech Marin from Cheech and Chong. That's the actor that when he goes over, you know what I'm talking about? And they say, hey, who's the president of the United States? John Wayne. I was like, damn.
Oh, he said, all I can say is I can do this forever, laughing out loud.
Hold on. Watch this. You ready for this? Okay, hold on. Damn, I don't know what he did with that one. That must be some secret account. Okay, we're going to block the user there. All right, we're going to block the user here. No, I'm not going to block that one because those are his actual guys. Damian Ramos has been blocked because now that he admitted that he's actually Damian Hernandez, you've been blocked. But the other two, you're still in timeout, so you're still good. Go on in. Come back with somebody else. But I promise you, I don't care what name you go by. Your comment is still your comment. We know what Damian comments look like. So go on ahead. Test us out if you want.
Oh, man.
No, but seriously though, I mean, if you're not charged, then you can't necessarily abandon a guy if he hasn't been charged. You gotta let him play. I mean, come on. You give him the suspension, you give him the fines. They are what they are. Now it's time to get back to work. It's time to get back to work. My question is, nobody has asked this question. I'm gonna ask the damn question. I wonder. Hold on, watch this. My mind often wanders if the lawyer that's in the suite with those 10 women is doing any extracurricular work. My mind often wonders how many massages he'll get. Remember back in the day, there was that thing that goes, things that make you go, What a time to be alive.
Like I said, to me,
and way to stay away from that, Gonzo. I saw how you said to yourself internally, I'm gonna let Jay say what you gotta say because I'm not going near that shit with a 10-foot pole.
Says that about 10 of the women who accused Watson of sexual harassment and assault are planning on attending the game at Houston's NRG Stadium, where the Browns will take on the Titans. Busby says some of the clients asked to go, and Busby will also attend the game. It's important to clear the air that they are still here and that they matter.
Well, I guess they matter sitting on that couch enjoying the nice posh lifestyle.
And Deshaun Watson didn't speak to media today.
He did. You say he didn't, or he did?
Huh?
You said he did not speak to the media?
No.
Interesting. Yeah, he probably don't have nothing to say. This man just wants to get on the field. He don't want to put nothing out there that could distract him from getting on that damn field.
He's trying to move on with his life. I mean,
yeah, I don't blame him. Hey, look, again, he's been punished by the league. He's been fined. He's paid personal claims out to those, the defendants or whatever. As far as I'm concerned, it's over, and I'm sure in his mind it's over. Now it's time to push forward.
These women settled these civil suits out of court. It should be over. I mean,
it should be over. You got freaking money. What's the problem?
Not saying
are you pissed off? Maybe they're pissed off because they don't feel like they got enough.
They shouldn't. But you
but
shouldn't
yet,
agree.
Quote unquote, they're not gold diggers.
Well, if you didn't think you got enough, you shouldn't agree to the civil suits.
Because there are lawyers in their head saying, "Take what you can get. It's better than what you had." I guarantee that's what it is, and they probably still feel a certain kind of way.
Yeah, because the lawyer gets a percentage of that money.
Of course he does. And when they realize that he cut into their money, it probably made him feel a little worse.
I didn't even see that account come up. You must have blocked that one quick. I didn't even see that one.
Oh, yeah. It was Damien. Don't worry about it. It was Damien saying J is a 4-letter word.
What'd you say yesterday? Pin is?
Pin is. Yeah, J is a pin is. And then underneath it says hi. What a time to be alive. Damien, you fucker. Just wait 5 minutes. He'll be back. Calm down. You know what? Just because I'm in again. Yeah, 5 minutes. Calm down. You'll be right back. But no,
I do tell you that.
Huh?
This week in the NFL is going to be interesting. Though it's a big week because there's a lot. Well, there's a lot of division.
Well, first of all, hey, can we go to college first and look at this? Look at the games on tap before we go to NFL. I just want to look at the games on tap. I have not looked at the games on tap for even Saturday. What do we got Saturday? Because now we're in conference mode, right?
You got all the conference championship games
Saturday.
What?
Is there any games Saturday?
All the conference championship games are Saturday.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So let me ask you this. So you got Utah, USC.
And then you got
TCU. And that Utah game, by the way, is Friday. So you got the first big game on Friday. And then on Saturday, then you get all the big ones, right? You got K-State, TCU, LSU, Georgia, UCF, Tulane. Nobody give a fuck about UCF, Tulane. Purdue, Michigan. That'll be a big one. Clemson, North Carolina. That'll be a big one. And I hope Dustin May just goes out there and mollywops Clemson. So let me ask you this. Out of all the games that we got Friday and Saturday for college conferences, which one are you mostly excited to see? Or what game is it that you just got to see over all the rest?
This week in college football is probably honestly, it's probably the Friday night game, the USC and Utah, just because Utah beat USC by 1 point earlier in the season, and USC's playing to hold on to a college football playoff berth.
Yeah. And by the way, so LSU now is ranked at number 14.
Had LSU 14. It's real quick, hypothetical. They're ranked 14th right now. They beat Georgia. How far do they move up?
Man, they gotta move up within the top 10, somewhere in that top 10. I think you put them right there. I think you put them right there. Remember, probably somewhere between 7 and 8.
I was gonna say probably around 7 or 8 too.
I think it'd be around 7 or 8.
I don't think you get up to 4, but I think you get up to probably around 7 or 8.
If you go from 14 to 4 on a 3-shot deal, I'll tell you right now, man, I'm not watching college football unless it's a Texas game ever again. I just can't deal with that shit. But I'll tell you right now. So you're telling me, okay, out of all these games, if I say Gonzo, you can only watch one college conference game. That's it. You only get one. You can do score updates, but you can only visually watch one game. Your game would be Friday, which is not a bad game, by the way. USC, Utah.
Yeah, because I think that has the ability to probably be the best game.
Yeah, absolutely. Again, I'm kind of torn a little bit. I told you, cheat. You know what? No, I am not allowing that. Damian, if you put anything like that has to do with the Astros again on there, I will delete everything. Block everything. So you be nice. 2 minutes, you probably come back. Be nice.
David
Say one more thing, though. I'll block all your shit
this afternoon.
God, I'll block
David and Jay battle this afternoon.
It's just one of those days, man. You know, you ever had that stalker? You know what it's like to have a stalker in your life? I'm just saying.
Wow. Anthony Price says Clemson and UNC.
You know, and I'm not even mad at that because, again, it is. It's going to be really good. You're going to see Dustin May, the freshman, soon to be at some point Heisman winner. I don't think it won't be this year, but I think at some point in his career before he goes to the NFL, if he continues this trajectory, he's got to start putting him in Heisman consideration versus a bullshit-ass ukulele who should be in Clemson band versus Clemson quarterback. But anyway, it's going to be a great game. But I'm torn. Gonzo, if he said, look, Jay, you can only watch one game, what you watch? Because I would be torn between the USC, Utah, and then I would be torn between the TCU, Kansas, only because I feel like both those TCU and USC, the pressure's on for both of them. You can't fuck up. You've got to win your conferences to maintain your status. Whereas I feel like Georgia, I don't give a damn about Georgia LSU because it's not going to affect Georgia. Georgia's going to stay in the top 4. LSU will move up between 7. So there's not really a whole lot of consequence there. I want to watch the games that have consequential value, which, again, Michigan, Purdue would be one, TCU would be one, and USC would be one. Those are the 3 games that have consequential value, especially with LSU climbing up the ranks, Alabama climbing up the ranks. Those are the consequential games, and that's why it's so difficult. But I'm going to go TCU just because I got to throw my support behind a Texas team. Yeah. But I am going to keep a close eye on the Michigan and the USC games as well.
If you're an Ohio State fan, you're rooting for TCU or USC to get beat. So them games are going to get a lot of views just because a lot of these teams on the outside are going to be watching. A lot of their fans will be watching. Anthony said, Jay, stop blocking him. He makes the show funny.
Hey, listen, I don't care. Hey, look, as long as he don't say cheat throws, anything Astros related, you know what? If he wants to call Jay a dick, I'm okay with that. Come back in with Jay as a dick. But, well, you may have to we might have to just have the single letter J now because I didn't block the other one. But But just don't say nothing bad about the Astros, and I won't block you, I promise.
Before we move on from college, Joe, who do you think wins the Heisman this year?
God. Yeah, man. I think I know we definitely talked about this, and I think we were all in an agreement that Caleb Williams from USC probably is probably the most deserving of it.
He's a big favorite right now, too.
I think had Drake May not lost that North Carolina or that NC State game, I said it's a tough battle between the two of them. But that NC State game loss really kind of catapulted Caleb Williams to the forefront, especially since now you're at the number 4 spot and you had to battle your way to the 4th spot. So I think, just by attrition, I think, Caleb Williams has got to be it, or you're not watching college football.
Yeah. No, I agree. And he's a big favorite. If you on FanDuel, the odds, Caleb Williams is a minus 3,000 favorite. Max Duggan is second at plus 2,000. CJ Stroud is third at plus 2,500. And then you got Stetson Bennett at plus 10,000. So they have Caleb Williams as a big favorite.
I like how you said Stetson Bennett, because that just takes me back to the days of Dumb and Dumber when they said, so there is a chance.
So you're saying there's a chance.
You're saying there's a chance. No, and the sad thing about it.
I'm glad you said that. Wait a minute. I'm glad you said that. Guess what I watched last night? We
Dumb and Dumber?
No. We got off unscripted.
Old school?
No, got off unscripted. I had it on I forget what I had it on, but the Replacements came on.
Oh,
we were talking about it yesterday afternoon. It was on USA last night.
Nice. I bet you were like, hell yeah, I'm watching it just for the hell of it now.
Yeah, I watched it because I love that movie. But I was like, that's funny. LB and Jay were just talking
about
who
doesn't like the Replacements? Come on, we all like that shit. If you're not, hey, listen, if you're not at the middle of your living room floor singing I Will Survive when they're doing the jealous thing and doing that little dance, you're not enjoying the Replacements, because that was the best damn scene in the whole movie.
I love when the kicker shows up to practice, smoking a cigarette, carrying his helmet. And he goes, "I'm wiry."
I'm wiry. And he always messes with the Samoa dude.
Yeah.
No, I'm going Replacements only because of the I love a good humor. And when you combine humor with a good football movie like that, you got to go with it. But I do like Draft Day, by the way.
I like Draft Day. But another real good football movie I like is Any Given Sunday.
Yeah, that was I liked Any Given Sunday, but I also like the one, and I cannot remember the name, but the one where they're talking about the quarterback trying to get the Heisman, and he can't get away from the alcohol, and it screws up his Heisman chances. And then they're talking about the dude doing all the steroids, and he can't get off the steroids in the final game. Oh, what was the name of that damn movie?
Steroids.
The quarterback's name was Joe.
Friday Night Lights.
Friday Night Lights was a good one, especially because that's based on Texas high school football.
Varsity Blues
that's a great movie as well.
Varsity Blues was a good one as well.
Varsity Blues was a good one. Come on, Bacon. Let's go, Bacon. And let's be honest, who didn't want a teacher like that? Come on. But you know what? I will tell you right now, I think one of the really good shows that are out on is All American. I think All American is a really good show as well. If you like watching high school football and drama, whatever you want to call it, All American is a good one as well.
Then back in the day, you had a Unnecessary Roughness with the Sinbad was in it.
Oh yeah. There's a lot of good ones, man. You can go back to The Longest Yard. You can go back to Rudy. I thought Rudy was a really excellent movie. And the fact that it's a true story even makes it better.
Radio. That was a good one, too.
You know what? I'm sorry. If anybody thinks that Cuba Gooding Jr. is not a good actor, you're retarded. No offense.
Yeah, that's a good one, too, Anthony. The Blind Side. That was also a good one.
I thought Blind Side was okay, but it just didn't have enough with the football in it, you know. But I get it, man. Hey, it's still a touchy-feely story. So, hey, I get it too. I'm not gonna, yeah.
Oh man, I know the one we're forgetting. I know the one we're forgetting, but I can't think of the name of it now. Denzel's in it.
Oh, you're talking about Remember the Titans.
Yes, Remember the Titans. That was one a real good one.
There's another one you need to go see called The Express, talking about Ernie. It was based off, I believe it was Ernie Banks, I think it is. That one, he was a college football guy that came out of Syracuse and then went to the Cleveland Browns, was supposed to be the replacement for Jim Brown, but then they wound up finding he had a medical condition and he wasn't able to ever play college foot or not, he wasn't able to ever play NFL football. But if you want to see a badass, like a totally badass movie, go watch The Express. Seriously, it is freaking amazing. No, I don't mean not The Longest Yard. It's called The Express. It came out in 2008.
Then there was and then there was one where the Philadelphia Eagles held the open tryouts to the public.
Yeah.
I can't think of the name of it.
Invisible.
Yeah.
Yeah, Invisible.
That was a good one too.
And I like it. Oh, and then of course, hey, listen, if you want to see another badass movie, just go watch We Are Marshall.
Yeah, that was a good one too.
Come on, man. I mean, those are some seriously good. And what I like about it is they're true stories, but they are invincible. I'm sorry. That was the one with Mark Langenberg with the Philadelphia Eagles, Vince Papale you're talking about. It was the Invincible. I know I said the other one. It was actually the Invincible. I wish I could find that one. Varsity Blues 20. Rudy the Giant. What is that one? Oh, well, The Program. That's the one I was trying. Remember I was telling you about the dude that was on steroids and the guy who's supposed to get the Heisman, but the alcohol got him. It's called The Program with James Caan in it.
Yeah, that's a good one. That's an old one, but yeah, it's a good one.
Yeah, that's a real old one. But again, I mean, look, if you want to, there's just a ton of good freaking football. Oh, and don't forget All the Right Moves, baby.
Wow.
Man, that was Tom Cruise way back in the day.
Pele has been hospitalized as he battles cancer.
Damn.
He's 82 years old.
God, that is seriously a long time ago, man. Hopefully Pele will overcome this and be able to get out of the hospital.
I guess his daughter says it's not an emergency. Kyle Pitts had knee surgery done for the season.
Yeah, I know Pitts was done for the season. I saw that. Well, I think because Pitts was done for the season back when the injury first happened. I think now they just kind of made it official. But yeah, what is? You know what? I love Kyle Pitts. I think Kyle Pitts just needs the right quarterback getting him the rock. And Mariota just wasn't it because he had a terrible season this year, but he had a really good season with Matt Ryan last year. You know, if you had Kyle Pitts as your tight end last year, you were doing phenomenal. And up until he got hurt, if you had him this year, it was just mediocre. Which also, if you had Darren Waller, that's right, I have Darren Waller, but he's on IR. He's just had a terrible season this year, man. Just has not been able to get anything going.
Semi-tough.
Man.
Kyle Pitts was done the first week of football. But no, man, back to NFL. This week, man, there's a bunch of division games. So this is a pretty big week, really.
It's gonna be huge. Honestly, it's gonna be. Well, before we go real quick, before we go into football, can we just talk real fast, just real quick, because I know we were talking about soccer a second ago. Ronaldo just got offered $360 million from the Saudis.
So he's going to wait till after the World Cup to make a decision.
Wait till after the World Cup. The man gave you 360 freaking million. Where's there to decide? Yeah, yo, Blow. I'm in. World Cup. I'll be right there. I want my Crown Penthouse suite, and we'll be there.
Let me ask you this: Will people make as big a deal about Ronaldo going to a Saudi team as they are about this Saudi the Live Golf?
Probably.
Which I don't understand why they're making such a big deal about the Live Golf either, because it's blood money, it's Saudi money. Okay, NBA deal.
Hey,
NBA works with China.
If I'm Ronaldo, I got 360 million. I don't give a fucks. And if I'm anywhere near the Live Golf tournament, we're the cheapest, or I should not say the cheapest, where the last place person still gets 6 figures versus a bullshit payout at the PGA. Well, I got $100,000 if I don't give a fucks. Honestly, think about it. I mean, when the money's that good, do you really care what people think? I care. I don't care. All that tells me is, okay, look, you got people out there that willing to step up. Now that means you're going to have to elevate your pay. I know the PGA wants to stay in 1956 pay, but come up to 2022, it's the year of 100 million pay. It's time to get busy.
And Jay, and that's the thing that kills me, that is so funny to me about the PGA, not the PGA, the players in the PGA. They're all, the ones that stayed in the PGA didn't go to Live Golf. They're complaining about Live Golf. Since Live Golf came, PGA is starting to pay more now. And is making changes that are better for the players. So what to me, it's a good thing. Anytime you have just one organization that's basically a monopoly, it's better. It's better when you have multiple organizations, because then that one organization can't just do whatever the hell it wants anymore. Right. And PGA is starting to figure that out. Now they've upped their payouts and a bunch of events because of Live Golf.
It's like everything else. Sometimes you have to be forced into change.
Competition is good a lot of times.
Sometimes you gotta be forced. And and again, look, man, if I'm out there trying to make money for my family, and you tell me that if I come in last place, I get 6 figures, and if I come in last place over here, I might get a week's vacation to go to, I don't know, San Antonio or New Braunfels or whatever. Yeah, I'm gonna take the 6-figure paycheck, because you know what? At the end of the day, I gotta put money on the table. I like tradition. Don't get me wrong, but last time I checked, tradition don't pay my freaking bills, baby.
I feel the same way. It was funny to me because everybody was going crazy. Oh, it's the Saudis, it's blood money. And it's like, well, NBA works with China that does things that we don't agree with. I mean, all these big organizations work with different countries that do bullshit things that
watch this. I'm gonna hit them people right between the face. Whoever is saying that Saudis are blood money and this is blood money and this is blood money, let me tell you something. I want you to take off your shirt in your own private environment where it's just you and yourself. Take off your shirt. Look at the tag on the back of it. And if it says anything about the Philippines or China, that's blood money. Because somewhere there's a kid making next to nothing sewing that shirt together. And we want to talk about blood money. Hell, every damn thing in the damn world.
Yeah.
At some point, there's blood money.
It's just funny to me how people pick and choose which things to complain about and not to complain about. You know what I mean?
Hey, all I know is, hey, at the end of the day, watch this. Whether it's blood money or not blood money, the person that's out there in that sweatshop factory in the Philippines, if he wasn't getting paid, if we weren't buying the goods from them, what else would he be doing to survive? How else would he be surviving? What else things would he be doing to survive? I don't know. I'm saying you can't control what happens outside the United States of America. The only way you can say blood money this or blood money that is you close off every damn border we have, and you say every person in the United States can't go outside the U.S., and then we go communistic. We're not communistic. We're a capital-free society. Do what you got to do, boo-boo. You want to go to Saudi and make 360 mil? Go to Saudi and make 360 mil. You want to go over to the Live and play for $100,000 if you come in last place? Go over there and play for last place, $100,000. I mean, it's a free damn world.
Anthony Price says you think the Jets can upset the Vikings.
Yeah, we get an NFL knob because now I'm about to roast the shit out of freaking Anthony Price. Anthony, what are you smoking? Because I swear to God, I don't even know. You know what? Hold on. Jay, back up. That might not even really be Anthony Price. That might be Damian Hernandez impersonating Anthony Price.
Oh, no. Although we haven't seen Damian back since you blocked him earlier.
No, he might be back. He might be amongst us. How do we know that Anthony Price is here and Damian as Anthony Price is here? How do we know?
That's true. The Vikings are 3-point favorites.
Gonzo. They walk amongst us.
On FanDuel, Vikings are 3-point favorites.
Hey, look, man. I'm gonna tell you though. Hey, look, honestly, if the Jets beat the Vikes, that's awesome. I just hoping they do. Mike Carter is running the rock because I really need those fantasy points.
He said, "I'm saying Jets defense is good, and Sauce never gave up a TD."
No, absolutely. No, hey, trust me, Anthony. I get it, man. I get it, man. Sauce Gardner. I mean, honestly, man, phenomenal athlete, just phenomenal. And you know he's going to be battle tested covering Jefferson, right? I mean, they're going to put him on Jeff. And now you got to deal with Thielen and you got to deal with Hawkinson. I think your running backs can deal with Hawkinson. So really you're looking at, you'd have to shut down Thielen, which I don't think it would, I mean, Thielen's an average runner, and I'm pretty sure your other cornerback can handle that. The biggest thing is controlling the line of scrimmage and not letting Dalvin Cook go off on you. And then having Sauce Gardner be the shutdown corner on Jefferson. If you can accomplish those two things and figure out how to run the rock, then yeah, I think you got it. They do have a good shot.
The thing that worries me about the Jets is the quarterback position. Is Mike White going to look like he did last week?
Well, and again, hey, we talked about this too, right? When we were talking about when we were talking about should the Jets start looking at the draft for a quarterback or free agency? This is if I'm the Jets, I want this. I welcome this because I want to see what I have in Mike White. I can't see what I have in Mike White if I'm playing the Houston Texans. I can see what I got in Mike White if I go up against the Vikings, the Cowboys, the Eagles, someone who has a decent secondary to see in a good front seven.
Yeah.
And now I can really know what I have in Mike. I either got the real deal or I got no deal.
I agree. I agree. You want to see what you got. I'm just saying that's the only thing that would worry me about taking the Jets.
Oh, absolutely.
The Bills play the Patriots tomorrow night, Thursday night football. Bills will have no Von Miller. Von Miller is not coming back tomorrow. He's coming back next week against the Jets. That's another division game that I think the Bills win, but it's going. I can see that being a close game. New England's one of them gritty teams that have been able to keep some games close and pull off some wins.
Yeah, I think in that specific game, it's going to come down to New England's defense. Can they go to war? It's going to come down specifically to the secondary of New England. Can you stop Diggs? Can you stop Davis? And so forth. So with that, I think that game really rests in New England's secondary to see how well they come out and execute.
Do you think we might finally get a good Thursday night game?
Who's got the Thursday night again?
Bills and Patriots.
Oh, yeah.
Which we had a pretty good Thursday night game.
Because I love I've been waiting for the Bills and Patriots. Number one, like you said, it's a divisional game. Number two, you see what the Jets secondary, the Patriots secondary looks like against some really stiff competition at the wide receiver and a good quarterback. So you kind of know what you got there. And then number three is Frankie's team. It's Frankie's team. I'm just saying it's Frankie's team. So anytime, the Patriots are on the field and Frankie's, over there, Foxboroughed it out, I pray to God the Bills win.
And we got a good I will say this. We did get a good Thursday night game on Thanksgiving last week with the Vikings and the Patriots. So
yes, we did.
Thursday night games have been a little bit better here lately. Yeah.
Which God, man. It's going to be good.
Then we have Broncos and Ravens. I think the Ravens beat the Broncos. Broncos are.
I like that the Broncos defensive unit beats the Broncos offensive unit. No, I mean, I think they.
Oh, they're getting close. They're getting close to throwing blows. You saw that the other day.
Hey, all I know was old boy was up in his face, and all you saw was Wilson start sidestepping right.
Steelers.
No, that's an easy. Honestly, it should be what should appear to be an easy game for the Ravens. Denver's just too much of a disarray to deal with anything.
You have Steelers at Falcons. That game, who knows?
I'm actually going to give that to the Falcons. I think the Falcons they have a run game, and I think they have a semi-D. I think the Falcons it'll be a close game. It'll be another nail-biter just like the Colts, but I think the Falcons take that game, though.
Lions and Jaguars.
Oh, given how Trevor Lawrence currently is playing. By the way, Trevor Lawrence's QBR over the last 3 games has been over 100. Over 100 the last 3 games. That just kind of tells you something. I'm going Jacksonville in this game. Absolutely going Jacksonville.
Yeah, that wasn't a bad game either. Damien's back.
Oh yeah. Hey, what's up, Dame? No Astros bullshit.
Titans and Eagles. I think this could be a decent game too because of that Titans defense.
That plus
run game.
You have Henry there to control the clock. It's going to be what can Henry do against that Eagles D? Because that Eagles run D is somewhat decent. So they're going to have to really rely on Treylon Burks and getting the ball to Treylon Burks in order to open up the field for a Henry to explode through. And vice versa. Henry's going to have a good run game to open up that field for Treylon Burks and Woods.
I think for the Titans, for them to win the game, Derrick Henry has to have a good game running the ball. That's their chance to win the game.
And I think you got to give him the rock often and early to really get him established running the ball. Because I think if you get him established, number one, it helps your run game, but it also opens up the pass game. But also it really wears down that defensive unit of the Eagles. And last time I checked, Cox isn't exactly the youngest spring chicken in that defensive unit. He's getting a little older, so I think you can wear them down a little bit.
And they're going to be missing one of their top corners in Gardner Johnson.
That's another good point. Speaking of Patriots, he said, what y'all think on reports about Brady might be thinking about returning to the Pats next? He ain't going to the Pats.
I was going to say, I haven't seen those reports yet.
I haven't seen any report that has him linked. If that's the case, Damien, can you throw the source of where you found it just so I can check that out? Because I would be interested to see if there is any or any truth to what you're saying.
Anthony Price, AJ Brown going to burn his former team. That's a good point too. That's interesting. That's going to be an interesting storyline in that game as well.
I think so. I think Brown and Burks might be saying to themselves, hey, I know you're going up against the guy you traded me for or you drafted me to replace. So does it give Burks any added incentive at all? I don't know.
And then Cleveland Browns at the Houston Texans, Deshaun Watson's first start.
God, you know what, man? Look, I'd like to see the Texans win it because I'm from Texas. The Texans aren't my team, but I'm from Texas. So, I still got a Texas loyalty there. But at the same time,
ask you that. Why didn't you become a Houston fan when the Texans formed since you're from Houston? Was it because you was already a Cowboys fan for so long?
Man, look, when you've been a fan of something since 1976.
No, that's what I was asking. I didn't know how long
you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not just going to leave my team because
no, I understand. I didn't know how long you've been a Cowboys fan.
Again, when the Houston Texans aren't playing the Cowboys or there's no implication to the Cowboys, I want to see them win. I want to see them do well. But if they go against the Cowboys, I'm going to go Dallas 24/7. And me and my parents are going to probably have to watch it from different locations.
I understand that because, like here in Indiana, before the Colts got here, we didn't have a team. So a lot lot of older people here are Bears fans or Cincinnati Bengals fans because then we're like
because what else did you have?
Then we're the closest teams, and a lot of the older people are still Bears. Like my uncle, he's still a big Bears fan, even though the Colts. We have the Colts, but he was a Bears fan before the Colts ever got to Indianapolis.
I'll be honest with you. The only way I would ever become a Houston Texans fan, which is if I was to leave the Cowboys, it would be for the Texans. But the only way that would ever happen is if the Dallas Cowboys left the state of Texas and moves to a completely different state. You know, I'd be like, you know what? All right, man. Hey, look, you left because again, at the end of the day, my number one loyalty is always to the state of Texas. I just believe that shit. And so, you know, if the Cowboys left the state of Texas, then I would just revert to the Texans and we would ride that rail like that, you know. So
you hear what I said though? I said the only way you go switch to Houston is if you is if they win the world or in the Super Bowl. If Houston gets a Super Bowl,
the Texans will ever win a Super Bowl, man, damn. You know, there was a time.
No, I said that's the only way. No, Jay, what I was saying is the only way you'll become a Texans fan is if the Texans win a Super Bowl before the Cowboys win another one.
Nah, I'm still gonna stay loyal. But I'd be happy. Hey, I'd be happy for him, but I'd be loyal, man. But no, you know,
I'm the same.
It was interesting.
I'm the same way as you, though. I'm all Indiana teams. Yeah. I mean, I in college it's IU. I also root for Ball State because they're from Muncie, where I live.
Right.
We don't have a baseball team, so it's Cincinnati for baseball, but basketball Pacers. So yeah, I mean, I've always been a big fan of all the Indiana teams.
Right. Interesting enough, you know how I became a Cowboys fan was so at 76. My aunt, who lives out in Fort Worth, well, she's passed away now, but I have an aunt that used to live in Fort Worth, and she was the secretary to, at that time, Tex Winters, and then what became George W. Bush for the Rangers. She was his secretary. And so she sent me a Dallas Cowboys jacket, and then I got it, and I wore it to school the first. I just loved the star. Oh my God, the star! But this is really before I truly got into. I didn't really get into sports until about 76, 77. That was when I was about 4 or 5. You know what I'm saying? So, but 76, 77, man, hey, I like that star logo. I don't know what it is about that star logo, but I love that star logo. And then the Astros had a star on their logo, and then the Rockets were just the Rockets. I love the Rockets. I love everything about them. So I just kind of got into that whole motif. That's just kind of how.
So you
how I became sports fans. And, you know, once you become a sports fan of a team, you can't ever go back unless something drastic, like moving out of state or something, but you can't ever go back.
No, I wasn't even born in 76.
I know you weren't. It's okay. Not your fault.
I was born in 80, so 4 years later.
Hey, listen, I was born in during Richard Milhouse Nixon, September of 72.
So you're not that
Richard Milhouse Nixon. I am not a clock.
No, you're not that much older than me. You're only eight years older. Right?
That's right, baby. That's right. That's right. But I was riding a bike before you were even out of diapers.
Then we got the Commanders at the Giants. I think this will be a good game.
Fucking great game. That's going to be a great game because number one,
both defenses have been playing real well.
Oh, let me look up something. What are you saying, Gonzo?
I think it's going to be a good game because both defenses have been playing well. Like you said, it's a division game, but the Commanders have won 6 of their last 7 games.
Yeah, and I mean they're looking good. I mean, like the whole damn NFC East is looking good for crying out loud. So which player is 25 will have no. But when I look at that, or if I go to the standings, I just want to go to the standings real quick. So Giants and Dallas are a half a game apart. So the implications are huge, right? You win this game, you take over 3rd place in the division, and then you're about a game and a half out of 2nd. But I really think at this point, the Commanders aren't trying to get to 1st. The Commanders really are just trying to get to the wild card, which quite honestly, I think all of the NFC East is going to be in the playoffs. I think all of them get a fucking wild cards.
I wouldn't want to play the Commanders in a wild card game. I wouldn't want to, not the way that defense is playing. And look what Heineke did last year in the playoffs. Almost beat the Bucks last year there in the first round. So you know what I mean. I wouldn't want to play them the Commanders in a wild card game.
So my question is when are we going to see the debut of Chase Young? Because we thought we were going to see the debut of Chase Young a week or so back on that Commanders defense.
Yeah, maybe this week. I haven't seen no
because I
reports
think
yet.
that man, he put Chase. Hey, you add Chase Young to an already a badass defense, and geez Louise, man. I mean, now you're talking incredible. Of course, you know it's going to take Chase Young a couple of days to really, you know, feel comfortable. You know, messing with that knee. You know, game time conditions. So I don't expect Chase Young to come out the gate, you know, just spitting bullets. But I do expect him within a couple of games to, you know, be rounded a little bit back into some game time conditioning. And Chase Young can be that factor.
From what I'm reading here, it looks like he's probably going to make his debut this week.
Yeah, because Anthony was just coming out saying Chase Young had an illness last week, so he didn't play. Which I knew. I mean, Chase Young was right there, ready to go. I thought he was going to. They thought he was going to play against Houston. But then he was a scratch against Houston. But.
And he practiced today. So from the reports I'm reading, unless something drastic happens, he's going to play against the Giants. Which the only thing I kind of worried about that is that damn turf in New York. It seems like a lot of people get hurt on that damn field there at the Giants and Jet Stadium. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. Sorry, I had to plug in my cord there. Remember, my battery's about to die. And it's going to go back. No, half game back. I was trying to look at the playoff picture just to see kind of what we're looking at. And if I look at the National League, top 10 teams, Washington's in there. Philly, Minnesota, San Fran, Tampa, Dallas, Giants, Washington, Seattle, Atlanta, and Detroit. They're all in the playoffs right now. Or actually are all in the hunt, I should say, for the playoffs. It looks like Green Bay and pretty much everybody else, you know, yeah, they're pretty much just done and over.
You got Packers against the Bears this week. But before that, look at this comment.
Man, I got you, Dame. I got you, man. It's all good. It's not your fault. Don't worry about it. It's not your fault. It's not your fault. It's not your fault, man. Just
got the Packers at the Bears. Sounds like Aaron Rodgers is going to play this week against the Bears. Justin Fields, I don't know if he's playing this week or not. He said, "Jay, thank you."
Yeah. What a time to be alive. Damn, what a time to be alive. I'm still trying to process that whole Damian comment. I tell you, that was just nuts. That was nuts.
Chase Young can wreck a game.
Oh, Chase Young can absolutely wreck a game. There's no doubt about it. My question is, it doesn't break it down to wild card. So how many? So there's three, but there's 3 wild card spots available, correct? If I'm thinking right, you get 3 wild. There's 3 wild cards that are available. So you're looking at the top. So I would say top 1 through 7 gets into the playoffs, and if you're coming at an 8th in your conference, then you're mathematically eliminated because you couldn't make the wild card spot. So if you look at 1 through 7 on the NFC side, Washington is right there at the cusp. Right, they're at number 7 at a 7-5 record, and Seahawks got a 6-5. So the only way there's 2 ways Seahawks can get into it. They can win the division, or they can move up from number 8 into at least the top 7.
Yeah.
Same thing with Seattle. Seattle's 6-5. You know, they're only half game back of the 49ers. So they're right there as well. So all those. So I think that's what they're talking about. 1 through 10 which being 8, 9, and 10 with Seattle, Atlanta, Detroit are in the hunt. But there's no way in hell Detroit's going to ever do anything. I don't even think Atlanta does. Well, I can't say Atlanta because Tampa just sucks so damn bad.
Yeah, that division is just so terrible.
I mean, 5-6 is 5-6, and Atlanta is 5-7. So Atlanta's only a half
that
game.
Division.
Fuck.
The NFC South has turned into the NFC East this year. You know what I mean? NFC East used to always have those worst records. It's still for the division winner. Now it's went to the NFC South, and the NFC East is one of the better divisions.
Yeah, and that's why I think if you're Tom Brady, you got to be thinking to yourself, damn.
Well, and see, this is big. These two games here are big games. You got the Seahawks at the Rams. That's a big game for Seattle because they're, like you just said, they're trying to step their compete for the division with the 49ers. But then you have the 49ers and Dolphins.
Right.
So both them games are real big games. And like I told you earlier, I'm excited to see how this Dolphins and Niners game goes.
You know what's interesting to me is if you ask Tom Brady, how he likes his chances, Tom Brady's going to give you the interview question answer that you're going to want to hear. But I wonder if you were to dive into Tom Brady's mind, what his internal dialogue to that real question would be. Like, what the fuck? I'm 5-7. I don't even know how I'm in first right now. Or I'm 5-6. I apologize. Yeah. Atlanta's 5-7, but still, even at 5-6 below 500, you got to be. I wonder what his internal dialogue is.
He said on his podcast Monday night that he said that we haven't played good enough to earn a playoff spot yet this year.
Yeah, and they have, and it's right, they haven't. Clearly, the record shows that.
He said we haven't done nothing to earn a better record. So and then you have the Chiefs and Bengals this week. Rematch of the last year's AFC Championship game.
Yes.
And
I think that's going to be a testament. It's going to be a testament to see where the Bengals are. When is Jamar Chase due back? Is he due back at the Chiefs game or is it after that? I know he's due back this season.
I think he's coming back maybe this week because they were talking like he might come back last week and he didn't. So it might be this week. I'll have to look that up.
Yeah, because, man, when you throw that Jamar Chase back in that Bengals squad, that could change a lot of things. Yeah, and it's not too late for the Bengals. The Bengals are still in contention.
I'll tell you what, O.T. Higgins has really stepped up with Jamar Chase being out.
Yeah, he has. He has. But right now, Bengals are 7-4, tied with the Jets at 7-4.
They're saying that
they're in contention.
Jamar Chase plans on playing on Sunday.
Yeah, I figured he would.
And then on Sunday night, you have the Indianapolis Colts against the Cowboys. We all know the Colts are going to win that game.
Yeah. Hey, guess who's not in contention right now? That was good timing.
I had to get your reaction.
Hey, real quick though, Frankie, if you're out there, I just want to let you know. Currently, you're out of the playoffs. You might want to get New England to step their game up a little bit because right now you're down around the 8th, 9th seed, so you're out. You're not even in the playoffs right now. Yeah, Cowboys, man. We got Indy this week. Look, I'm not taking Indy lightly. I don't care. I'm not taking Indy lightly. And speaking of Indy, Jeff Saturday now came out and said that he regrets not using that timeout towards the end of the game. Again, I've been saying, nothing against Saturday, but sometimes when you don't have that experience, that can hurt you. And I felt like that was just one of those moments. You know what I mean?
I understand what you're saying there about experience, but we see guys have been coaching forever that mismanaged time at the end of the game. I mean,
yeah,
Andy Reid was known for that for a long time. We see it happen with Mike McCarthy, who's been coaching. So, I mean, I understand what you're saying. Yeah, the inexperience was probably some of it, but we also see experienced coaches mishandle the time at end of games.
No, I get that.
And I don't understand why. It's not. I mean, it's pretty damn simple. It seems like.
No, it is. It is very simple. It really is. I don't know how you don't. I mean, I think from the layman perspective of us not having the head coach experience ourselves, we're sitting there saying, "Hey, why aren't you calling a timeout? Why aren't you running Taylor more? Why is there a lot of things, And then they're gonna say, "Well, Jay, have you ever played the game of football? Yeah, I played the game of football. Have you ever played No, I have not played the professional level. So what are you talking about? Let me tell you something. I don't have to play football at a professional level to understand strategy. I'm just saying. Do I got to be a professional athlete to know strategy? Because last time I checked, Dane Campo didn't play lick of football, but yet he was defensive coordinator at a Super Bowl level. Strategy. You got to be strategic.
Sometimes people that can't play a sport are better coaches than people that play the sport. I mean, but then it goes both ways, though. You know what I mean? But yeah, I coached high school wrestling, and I know guys that wasn't real good wrestlers, but they're good wrestling coaches. You know what I mean? It's just
and again, when it comes to strategy, that's just a thinking man's game. So, if you had the ability to outthink the guy across from you, and so that's what I was trying to say. When you're getting down to the end of the game, if I'm going to run the ball and I'm 2 yards back and it's the last play, if I don't convert, I'm not going up the middle where I know it hasn't really truly worked a whole lot. I'm going to have Taylor on a toss or an option, go around left or right, depending on where the weak side is. And I'm going to try to pick up the to that yard or to that direction. You know what I'm saying?
Well, what bothered me more was
or I'm gonna do a soft, little 5-yard dump pass or something just to pick up the down.
Well, see, that's what made me mad was the 4th down call when he tried to go deep to Campbell.
Right. Yeah, I'm not going deep when I'm trying to convert because the percentage of success goes down.
Yeah, throw a short pass, get to 3 yards, call a timeout, then take a couple shots at the end zone.
Yeah. When you're facing 4th and 2 in the game on the line, you're not going deep. It's not like you got a Christian Watson like Green Bay has, or you got a Tyreek Hill like Miami has. So you got to use what you got and play to your strengths. Your strengths is a short pass has a higher chance of conversion rate than a long pass would.
And then the last game is the Saints at the Bucks, another division game.
Go Saints. No, I mean, honestly, that game, it matters. It's funny when you talk about a team that has a below 500, but yet is in first place mattering. It's crazy when you think that.
But
I guess it's weird to say.
If you remember, like, what's it been? It's probably about 10, 15 years ago when Seattle had like an 8-9 record, went to the playoffs and upset some people. That was when Beast Mode came. He got the nickname Beast Mode basically when he went crazy that game.
You talking about Marshawn Lynch?
Yeah, when Seattle remember they had like an 8-9 record, made the playoffs, and then was it against the Saints? He went
fall out of his pants pocket.
Was it against the Saints, if I remember correctly?
Yeah, it was. I believe it was. I believe you're right.
He ran all over him that day.
Wow. I'm sorry. I was just they had put some Jalen Hurts not Jalen Hurts, excuse me. They put up some Eagle offensive stats what they're averaging. Now I tell you, man, that Eagles geez Louise, man. That's gonna be that's still a tall. Hey, I don't care what people say. That's a tall drink of water over there. That Eagles team is a tall drink of water. I still do believe that the Cowboys can beat them. And I think that's fair to say that the Cowboys can beat the Eagles, but that's probably going to be the best damn divisional game of the season for anything, for anybody, any conference. That's going to be the biggest conference divisional game right there. That one and possibly a Miami Jets or a Miami Bills, whoever comes in second. That would probably be the next best one. Just because of Yeah, just because number one, how close the race is, and obviously how well the records are.
Yep.
I
Bills and
think I'd
Miami.
rather see a Bills. I think I'd rather see a Bills Miami though, because like I said, I think because of the injuries to the Bills secondary, I think that would be a closer game or a more competitive game.
I don't know. I think
Especially with
you
Saul
think
Garner on Tyreek Hill. Jeez.
you think that the Bills Miami game is going to be closer than the Eagles and Cowboys? Is that what you were saying?
Is that what I'm saying? Yeah, I think both of those games could be close. The problem with the
Yeah, I think they'll
Bills,
both be real competitive.
the problem with the Bills again is that secondary, man. When you have no secondary and Von Miller, but Von Miller says he's coming back, so that wow, man. Such a hard thing to think, man. But I do think though, yeah, I think I would have to say I think they'll both be close games. Yeah, I think they'll both be hard fought games as well. It's like that ingrown hair. It's like you ever got an ingrown hair right on your.
Hey, wait a minute, Jay. Let me say this, Damien. I think the Cowboys are going to beat the Eagles as well. So I think the best two teams in the NFC right now, and Jay knows who I'm going to say, the 49ers and the Cowboys.
Yeah, and again, and the reason why I can see that
I worry about that Eagles run defense, man. The Eagles run defense, if they struggle stopping the run and you can control the time of possession on them.
And Pollard is really good at running the rock, man. Pollard has really stepped up, and he runs the ball extremely, extremely well, man. So yeah, and again, what you're saying is not far fetched because when I look around, man, the NFC was it NFC South? I guess it is what Tampa's in. I mean, it's a trash division, so nobody cares. You go over to the 49ers division. It used to be the Rams, but now the Rams are out of it. Seattle could give a stink. But yeah, but I see what you're saying about the 49ers. Again, for me, the 49ers, a little bit is going to rest on Elijah Mitchell still, I think. But I can understand your viewpoint. And then again, to the Vikings are really the only team to be feared in the North. So the fact that you're choosing Niners, Cowboys, yeah. And I'll be honest with you, Cowboys, I don't know if you're paying attention to the league, but this is prime taken. That's prime taken.
I like it.
Like all the things are coming together. If you're going to get a championship,
I'll be honest with you. The one thing that worries me about the Cowboys is their offense, where sometimes sometimes Dak Prescott just doesn't play well. I like the Cowboys defense. I really like the Cowboys defense, especially like Anthony said that their front four and Micah Parsons can wreck a game. To me, it's going to depend on your guys' offense. If Kellen Moore can get in a good rhythm, and if they stick to run the ball to open up your passing game. Yeah. Don't try to pass the ball to open up your run game. And sometimes they do that. They get pass, kind of like what the Colts did the other night, get pass happy.
Right.
If Dallas don't do, that's what scares me about Dallas sometimes is I think they try to pass the ball too much. But I like their defense.
Yeah. I agree with you too. If you look at, like I said, if you go back and look at the last Eagles game, turnovers is what gave the Eagles the win. Dallas turnovers, and again, it came through Cooper Rush passing. Those interceptions and things of that nature in the 20-yard line gave them two quick, easy scores right off the rip, and it just kind of stayed like that. So I agree with you. I think number one, Micah Parsons has to be Jalen Hurts' worst nightmare. And I think that you got to limit the turnovers and you got to run the shit out of the ball. Pollard, I hope you ate your Wheaties. And I think you're right. I think they do those three fundamentals and they're going to be just fine.
But with that being said, Colts are going to beat the Cowboys Sunday night.
Huh. Hold on, man. Let me.
Hey,
Oh,
with my teeth.
hmm.
Wait a minute. Hey, what's that say on the bill of your hat?
Colts.
Okay,
Well, what does it say in the
see?
front of the hat? What does it say in the front of the hat?
I said
Just
45.
45. Oh, 45s, baby. Don't you try to go there, you horseshoe bastard. You know what.
Jay's a closet Colts fan.
Hey, if that makes you sleep good at night, you go ahead and believe that shit. It is kind of funny that the Cowboys and the but it is kind of funny that the Cowboys and the Colts do have the similar color schemes.
Yeah.
Except one is blue and silver, and the other one's blue and white.
Hey, if something would make me sleep good tonight, that'd be all right. I don't fucking sleep with the shit at night. But anyway,
yeah, I don't either.
Let's get the final thoughts.
Final thoughts.
You got any final thoughts?
Yeah, I just have one final thought. Again, man, hey, mad love out to my boy out there in New England for doing what he's doing for the University of Virginia. Again, man, can't be incredibly proud enough that you're doing that for them. It's amazing. Second final thought is don't forget, man, catch Unscripted Thursday Eastern. We'll have Gonzo, we'll have Logan, and we'll break down some more sports. But last but certainly not least, go Cowboys. Let's go.
My final thoughts are: I hope Pulisic is healthy enough to play Saturday for U.S. soccer team against Netherlands. I think we're really going to need him. I'd like to see the soccer team at least win one game in this knockout round. It'd be nice. Also, got a big interview tonight. Pro wrestler Blake Moneyright be joining us at 8:00 tonight. So come join us for that as well. Then tomorrow morning at 11, got another big interview. This guy's a wrestling manager. He also has a podcast. He's also one of the hosts of a podcast that's been in the top 100 on Apple Podcast and on iHeartRadio. It's called the In Your House Wrestling Podcast. The marvelous Mr. Bell, Jordan Bell, will be joining us. Dude's a great guy. I would guarantee it's going to be an entertaining interview. He's been on before, and it's always a great time. So he'll be on tomorrow at 11, basically right before the afternoon show tomorrow. So join us for that. Plus, I'll have Easy Money, a sports betting show here in just a few minutes that we'll be giving out our picks for tonight's NBA games, some college basketball, and all that stuff.
Question. Just real quick, I had a memory loss. I was writing down all the teams that have made the Super Bowls in the last 50 years, and I could not remember when the last time the Chicago Bears won their Super Bowl. Do you remember what year that was? And when you do it, could you please address it down to the last comment, please, or the second to last comment, please?
Well, I know in the last time the Bears was in the Super Bowl, they got beat by the Colts. That was in 06, but I believe the last time they won was in 85, right?
1985. Just out of curiosity, Damien, when you come on the show Thursday or whatever it is, I see you next. Just please throw in the comments when you were born, because I'm pretty sure you were not born when 1985.
And that's why Damien said that hurt me to say that, because when the Colts won the Super Bowl in the 2000 era, it was against the Bears.
What a time to be alive. What a time.
But appreciate everybody watching the ASAP Afternoon Blitz. Join us tomorrow at 1 p.m. Eastern. Like Jay said, check out the Unscripted tomorrow. YouTube, Facebook, Twitter.
Yes. And TikTok.
Oh. TikTok. And you can find Gonzo Sports Room, YouTube, Facebook, Twitch, Twitter, Instagram, basically everything but TikTok right now. But I'm thinking about starting a TikTok, but I just add more. I have to freaking try to run by myself. So we'll see. Hey, it takes up some time trying to keep track of all them social media pages.
Oh, absolutely. No, it definitely takes up time. It
don't
definitely takes up time on
I
social
don't
media.
think people realize there's a lot more work that goes into doing a show than just getting on here and talking.
Oh, absolutely.
So,
Absolutely. Hey, real quick before we go, one more question. When was the last time the Chicago Bulls? When was the last time the Chicago Bulls were relevant?
when they had the GOAT.
Because I wasn't sure if Damien was alive during that time period either. Okay.
When they had the GOAT.
Okay. Appreciate it, man. Just want to fact check Damien a little bit. No big deal.
Even though I wasn't a fan of his because he always freaking put my Pacers out, but he kept Reggie Miller from getting a ring.
All right. Y'all ready?
All right. We will see you guys tomorrow at 1 p.m. Eastern. Hit that subscribe button on YouTube at Gonzo Sports Room, at Unscripted, and at the All Sports All Plays Network. And we will see you guys tomorrow at 1 p.m. Eastern for another episode of the ASAP Afternoon Blitz.
All sports, all plays. All sports, all plays. All sports, all plays. 365, we making up plays. You talking the game, get you to the days. We're high in the court, the dime in the lane. Variety, topics, living the same. All presentation, sports information. In the airways, taking the nation. All sport, all plays, like working your faces. Grace at the field, so tie the laces. All sports, all plays.